Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to the New York Times Heart Puzzle. This is April 1st, 2023. I immediately see that this 4 blocks up here, this 4 blocks up here, so a 4 must go here. And the 2 blocks up here, therefore a 2 must go here. These two squares now must be a 6 and a 9, with 6 blocks across, so the 9 must go here and the 6 here. A couple of 9s blocked down and a 9 blocks over, so a 9 must go in this cell. 7 and 8 blocked down, so these squares must be a 7 and an 8. Therefore, these must be a 5 and a 6. A 5 blocks over, so 6 goes here and 5 here. A 2 and a 3 now for these squares. 2 5s blocking over, 5 blocking down, 5 goes here. 6 blocks up, 6 blocks down, 6 blocks over, 6 goes here. One blocks over, 1 down, 1 up, 1 here. Now we are left with a bunch of cells that must be 7 and 8, plus a couple more. These must be 7 and 8 because we have a 7 and 8 blocking down here. Therefore, these must be a 2 and a 3. A 7 9 here and a 7 9 here puts a 7 and a 9 in 2 of these 3 cells over here. The 6 blocks across, this 6 blocks across, this 6 blocks up, a 6 therefore must go here. This 6 blocks down, this 6 blocks down, therefore a 6 must go either here or here. The 7 blocks down, the 7 blocks up, we know that one of these must be a 7, therefore this square is blocked as well. And the 7 therefore belongs in this square here. This 9 blocks down. This 9 blocks across. So we know that a 9 for this box here must go either here or here. Now we need to find a 9 for this column here. Let me repeat, this 9 blocks these squares. This 9 blocks this square. A 9 must go here or here. Therefore, a 9 must go in one of these 3 squares in column 6. And these 2 9s block these 2 squares. So a 9 is forced to go in this square here. Now we need to find a 1, 2, and an 8 for the row. We have a 1 and an 8 blocking this square, which therefore automatically becomes a 2. This is now a 1, 8 remote pair. A 6 blocks these squares here. A 6 blocks this square. Therefore, a 6 must go here. And now we have 2 6s blocking down, 1 6 blocking across, making this square a 6. We need to find a 3, 4, 5, 7 to complete this column 8. There's a 4, 6, and a 5, and a 7 in this row, so a 3 must go here. And that gives us a 3 over here and a 2 here, because those are the last 2 digits necessary to complete column 1. The 3 blocks over here and this 3 blocks over here, so a 3 must go here. We know that this is a 7, 8, therefore these must be a 2 and a 4. We need a 1, 8, and a 9 to complete row 6. There's a 1 and an 8 blocking this square, which therefore must be a 9, and these are now a 1 and an 8. This 9 blocks up. This 9 also blocks up. This 9 blocks across. So a 9 must go here. Now we only need to find a 7 and a 4 and a 5 for these three empty squares. There's a 7 here and here. They block these squares here. So this must be the 7. And these now must be a 4 and a 5. The 5 blocks across. So the 4 must go here and the 5 here. This 5 now blocks across. And this 5 blocks across. This 5 blocks up. So one of these must be a 5. This 4 blocks across, this 4 blocks across, and this blocks up. So this is a 4. These now must be a 1 and a 2. And those I can't place yet. 1, 3, and an 8 for these squares. Also not possible to position yet. 1, 2, 3, and an 8 to complete column 5. There's a 1, 3, and an 8 blocking this square, which therefore must be a 2. 6, 7, 9 for these squares here. There's a 6 blocking here and there's a 6 blocking here. So this is a 6. 7 blocks here. So this is a 9. And therefore this must be a 7. These squares now must be a 1 and an 8. We still need to find a 2 and a 4 for these squares here. And a 1 and an 8 for these. And still 7, 8 here, 7, 8 here. We need a 2 for this column 9. The 2 can't go in any of these three squares. The 2 can't go up here because of this 2. So this is a 2. The last digit that we need for this row is a 4. It must go here. There is what we call a naked pair in column 4. I don't know if you've spotted it. It's not easy, but if you have followed the process until now, you know that these two squares must be an 8 or a 1, or an 8 and a 1. You also know that these two squares must be an 8 and a 1. So in effect, we now have an 8 and a 1 here and an 8 and a 1 here. And we only need to find a 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for this column. There's a 2, 5, and a 4, all observing this square, which therefore must be a 3. We have a 3 now blocking down, another 3 blocking down, so this is a 3. And back to the 1 and an 8, here and here. Now we need to find a 2, 4, and a 5. Let's see, the 4 can't go here. The 4 must go in one of these two squares. But what's more important is that these two must be a 1 and an 8 now. We also know that a 1 needs to go in one of these two squares. And since these are a 1 and an 8, a 1 can't go here. It must go here. Now this 1 blocks down, and we now know that one of these must be a 1, and that solves the 1-8 pair we had here, because now this must be an 8 and this must be a 1. We know that this 8 blocks down, so an 8 must go here or here, blocking up here. So now we have an 8 blocking up here, a ghost 8 blocking here, making this an 8. Before I forget it, I might as well enter a 2 in this square because that is the last digit missing in the row. So 1 and an 8 here, and that of course makes this a 3. We got a 3 blocking over here and a 3 blocking over here, 1 3 blocking down, therefore a 3 goes in the corner cell like so. These two squares must be a 5 and a 2. We can't solve them yet, but I don't think it'll take long now. We know this is a 1-8, and we also know that these two are 1-8s, so that leaves only this square. What might that be? You are right, it must be a 4. The 4 blocks over, the 4 blocks over, the 4 blocks down. This is a 4. We need a 1-8 and a 5 now for these squares. And the 1 and an 8 are blocking this square, which must be a 5 now. And the 5 blocks down, the 5 blocks over, the 5 must go here. The last square up here can only be a 2, blocking down, the 2 blocking over, 2 goes here. This must be a 1, and therefore this must be a 1, making a 1 out of this square and an 8 out of this. This is now an 8. The last square down here must be a 7, and that gives me a 7 for this square and for this, and an 8 for this, and an 8 for this square, and an 8 also must go here. And that's it for today's New York Times heart puzzle. It had a very weird feeling to it today. It was extremely easy, I think, and the path was very strange. It all hinged on a 1, 8, and a 7. These 3 digits. But that's how it is. We have to play the cards that we are dealt. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will come back for more soon. Thank you for watching and bye for now.